You are turning in 10-minute bulletin of Bình Phước radio, television station, and newspaper. You are with me, The Wang, and here are the headlines as usual. Promoting capacity unity to fulfill tasks in the new Đồng Nai province. Border residents in Bù Đốp enjoy life in new houses. Prime Minister attends the opening plenary of the World Economic Forum Tianjin 2025. National Assembly discusses draft law on mutual judicial assistance. And now are the details. Continue to promote capacity and unity, work with the newly merged unit to effectively fulfill tasks, and contribute to the overall development of the culture, sport and tourism sector in the new Đồng Nai province. This was the directive of Trần Minh, member of the Provincial Party Standing Committee, Permanent Deputy Secretary of the Party Committee of the Provincial People's Committee, and Vice Chairwoman of the Đồng Nai Provincial People's Committee at the 4th Party Congress of the Department of Culture, Sport and Tourism for the 2025 to 2030 term held on June 25th.
She requested that immediately after the Congress, the Party Committee urgently develop an action plan and effectively implement the Congress resolution. In response to the new two-tier administrative model, the department must promptly study, grasp, and implement Government Decrees 137 and 138 and provide proper guidance to the commune level, she stressed. At the same time, attention must be paid to building a qualified ethical staff, effectively implementing the study and practice of Ho Chi Minh's thought, morality, and style, and strengthening party inspection and supervision. Regarding the ongoing merger, the Vice Chairwoman asked for continued close coordination with Đồng Nai Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism to ensure facilities are prepared for staff to stabilize operations. The department should uphold unity and professional capacity to successfully fulfill assigned tasks and contribute to the sector's growth, she noted.
On June 25th, the People's Committee of Phú Yên District, Bình Phước Province, held a ceremony to announce and receive the decision recognizing Bình Tân Commune as meeting the 2024 standard of an advanced new style rural commune.
When selected as a pilot in 2023, Bình Tân met only 10 out of 20 criteria. The economic restructuring was low, agriculture remained dominant, and infrastructure was underdeveloped. However, thanks to strong political commitment and community engagement, after over a year of effort under the National Target Program for New Style Rural Development, the commune achieved all 20 criteria. Local agriculture continued to develop with effective models applying science and technology that improved economic returns. The average income per capita reached 84.57 million Vietnam dong per year, while the multi-dimensional poverty rate dropped to 0.0%. Bình Tân is now the 5th commune in Phú Yên district to be recognized by the provincial authorities for achieving advanced new style rural standards.
In Bình Phước Province, under the program to eliminate makeshift and dilapidated housing, Bù Đốp Border District alone has newly built or renovated 102 homes for eligible households. Just over a month since the handover, residents have moved into their new homes to settle and stabilize their lives.
17 solid houses were built on 5,000 square meters on land donated by a business. Local authorities have also provided electricity and water to ensure favorable living conditions for the residents. Through rapid implementation, Bình Phước has completed the construction and repair of 765 houses, 6 months ahead of the deadline set by the Prime Minister. The sturdy homes are not only valuable assets, but also how vulnerable families build confidence in a better, more secure future.
Moving on to the top stories around the country. On June 25th, in Tianjin, China, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended the opening plenary of the 16th annual meeting of the pioneers of the World Economic Forum, WEF Tianjin 2025. With the theme Entrepreneurship for a New Era, the WEF Tianjin 2025 is brought together more than 1,700 delegates, including senior leaders, representatives of agencies, ministries, international organizations, experts, scholars, and business leaders from nearly 100 countries around the world. The WEF's 16th annual meeting of the new champion takes place from June 24 to 26, 2025, and includes more than 120 exchange and networking activities. As the host of the event, Chinese Premier Li Qiang affirmed the WEF Tianjin 2025's important significance in promoting multilateralism, global trade and investment, and entrepreneurship in the face of fundamental shifts in the world economic landscapes. Within the conference framework, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính attended and spoke at several important discussion sections and was a special guest of the National Policy Dialogue on the theme Vietnam, the Era of Rising, Vision to Action. This is the third consecutive time Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính has been invited by the WEF to attend its annual meeting of the new champions. This demonstrates the WEF respect and appreciation for Vietnam's growing role and position on the global stage, as well as its impressive socio-economic development achievements. During the WEF's 16th annual meeting of the pioneers in Tianjin, China, on the afternoon of June 25th, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính engaged in a policy dialogue with WEF Presidents Roger Brander on the topic, Vietnam's New Era, From Vision to Action. The policy dialogue with the Vietnamese Prime Minister is a highlight of this year's conference. It affirms the WEF respect for Vietnam and for the Vietnamese Prime Minister personally. At the dialogue, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and WEF's President and CEO Roger Brander discussed many issues, notably Vietnam's new vision and policy orientation for the new development era, Vietnam's experience in building an independent and self-reliant economy associated with broad international integration, and Vietnam's foreign policies in the face of international geopolitical instability. Mr. Roger Brander expressed his impression of Vietnam's socio-economic development achievements in recent years, saying that despite challenges and risks, Vietnam's economy still maintains its growth momentum and is a bright spot in the global economy, and Vietnam is a successful story of adaptation and development. The Prime Minister dialogue section was highly appreciated and warmly welcomed by Mr. Roger Brander, as well as the delegates. The sharing of Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính conveyed a strong message about Vietnam that is ready for breakthrough development from thinking, vision to specific actions, creating a solid foundation to bring Vietnam into a new era of development, an era of national rise. Continuing the 9-section agenda on the afternoon of June 25th, the National Assembly discussed in the whole the draft law on mutual judicial assistance in civil matters. First, starting in the draft law on mutual legal assistance in civil matters and the review report of the National Assembly's Committee on Law and Justice, the National Assembly deputies agree with the necessity of promulgating this law. At the same time, they suggested that the drafting committee consider and add the principle of reciprocity to the provisions of this article, because the principle of reciprocity is a basic principle in international relations. Regarding this issue, Minister of Justice Nguyễn Hải Ninh said that the draft law does not directly and strictly stipulate the principle of reciprocity, but has a more flexible approach by adding cases where a foreign country request for mutual legal assistance in civil matters can be refused when there is a basis to show that such country does not cooperate in implementing Vietnam requests for mutual legal assistance in civil matters at Point 8, Clause 2, Article 25 of the draft law. Regarding the provisions on the application of foreign law in Article 5, Minister Nguyễn Hải Ninh emphasized that allowing the application for mutual judicial assistance is an international practice. However, the draft has limitations. That means it did not only apply when it does not violate the principle of mutual judicial assistance in Article 6, ensuring respect for sovereignty, non-interference in internal affairs, and equality and mutual benefit between the parties. The draft law on mutual judicial assistance in civil matters continues to be completed for the National Assembly to comment on and consider passing the 10th section slated for October. And that's all for today on BPTV News. Thank you very much for your watching, and we will see you next time.